Hello. I am still alive. Just about. How are you? Everything is a little scuffed, and I have adjusted my camera to suit. Um, the microphone, for starters, my fun little doodaddly thing is not functioning. Mr. Sinks, welcome in. Whoa, is this a James only coming in through the left side and green? I see these words, but I do not understand. Yes, hello. Also, if you look close up on my eyes, I think, yeah, they're red. I look really, really baked. Oh, audio is left side only. Well, that kind of, yeah. I can see on the thingy, that one of the channels does seem much louder than the other. I was like, why is that? But never mind, not left side only, it was just quiet. Yeah, it's imbalanced. I don't know why. The microphone is completely cooked. Every time I start the computer, I have to pull the gain down from insane maximum crunchiness to actually you can hear me now. And I don't have the spoons to fix it. So hopefully you can deal with this. Anyway, it is good to see you, Mr. Sinks. How are you? I have been working. I am really fucking tired. But, it's been at least a month since I last streamed. And I wanted to make sure I can still do this. So even if this is really, really, really scuffed today, and we don't really do much, yeah, I wanna stream. I want a little stream as a treat. Has been a while, enjoying the job. Well, it is good. Yeah, it's good. The place is nice, the people are friendly. The work is interesting and not totally overwhelming. It is very draining. It's a perfectly normal job, it's just very draining for me specifically because I don't have functioning neurochemistry. You just hate the tired? Yeah, pretty much. I hate getting into the weekend and then having 2 days of me just being tired and sleeping in a lot and not doing anything. Maybe if I'm lucky I can get some laundry done. And at the end of that, I start feeling okay, yeah, I'm ready to do something nice for myself now. But it's Monday already. Fuck my life. I mean, don't fuck my life. It's better than it was. I'm employed now. I have income again. I can take some of that income and dole it straight back to the landlord. But yeah, no longer in danger of poverty, living on the streets. It's good. It's good. And yeah, like I said, the actual job is pretty good, and the people are nice, which is important. I kind of resent not having any energy left over for myself. I have been trying to make things here and there, and it's been a bit of difficult. And yeah, all of my streaming setup is a bit janky, and I don't have the power to fix it at the moment. Nice place, nice people, and money is a good combo. Yeah. I was starting to run into problems that money was required to fix. For example, taking Poppy to the vet. Poppy is up in the bedroom, snoozing away on my nice jacket on the bed. So it's nice to be able to pay vet bills and things. Yeah. And It is the 1st of September, which is the other reason I wanted to like kind of push myself to do a streamy stream today. Mfoolery has organized a DOSember game jam, and it's actually spanning 3 whole months. So I want to make a little game of something and submit it to the jam, and it would be nice. Once you're settled in there more, you might not be so tired, hopefully. Hopefully, yes. I have been observing like a tiny measurable difference in my energy levels. Case in point, I'm able to actually fucking stream today. Instead of just being like, oh, I'm going to bed early, it's 7 p.m, time for a nap. But like a lot of people have been telling me that at work, like, oh yeah, you'll get used to it, you'll get back into the swing of things, you'll be fine. They're fucking neurotypicals, man. They have all the serotonin and dopamine they want. Their body just produces it. I have to really struggle, so I am struggling, but it's good. It's good. Things are getting better. Pretty good sign of improvement. Yes, being able to stream is a good watermark. So I didn't even like. I haven't set up a special card. You know, like I do the thingies. What have we got? We've still got the Oni one. And we've got FGL here. What do I have on? I think that's full screen, isn't it? Yeah, that's full screen. What's this one? Serpent Isle. I think it may be FGL. It's a nice one. And I can fire up QBasic. So the idea was, like, in fact, I'll launch that first, and I'll talk about what I want to do. Struth, this run. Is this gonna capture? Game Dev Jeff, hello, hello. Welcome in. Good to see you. What do I click on to make the thing go the thing? Oh, right, I had this as a dedicated FTL capture. We can turn that off and turn this on. Wait, let's keep it hidden. There we go. Now you're more green. Yeah, I don't have my ring light at the moment because that's one of the things that is a bit jank, and I've unplugged it. So the webcam, like, even though I'm in the fairly well lit room, my webcam is old. My webcam is old, and it doesn't do low light levels very well. So I added this filter. This filter is boosting the gamma heavily so you can actually see me, but then for funsies, it's also rotating the hue. James Hulko rebranding, yeah. Like, you can see, because it flashes all over the place, like, it's really trying and struggling to enhance the low light levels, and it's glitching out a bit. And this is appropriate. This is what I feel like. So, yeah, this is the game I ran. That's not my mouse. There. This is the game I made for the DOSember 2024 jam. Actually, it wasn't DOSember branded. It was just the DOS 2024 jam. It was like in July, August. And it's made in QBasic. And yeah, it's all done with ANSI, if you like, or DOS code page 437 art. And I drew all of these screens with a really cool tool called DOS Draw. That was it. DensQuicks? I think it's DensQuicks that made it. And I wanted to be like, you know what? Like, I've had this idea in the head for a while. You know what I could do? Because I've uh, figured out QBasic enough that I can load these screens quickly from disk. Um, I could have a game.
Thundercats! Sonobot just subscribed, you bloody legend. 3 years.
3 years, fucking hell. Sonneveld, welcome in. How are you doing? Um, I am tired, but I'm trying to do a stream because DOSember Game Jam. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for the 3 years. You don't have to do that. You really don't. But I'm not the boss of you. I can't tell you how to spend your money. Hello, I'm Walking Dogs. Welcome in, Walking Dogs. I'm James Necko. Thoughts? Yeah, so I made this game, right? And I made this game in like about a month, maybe a bit more. Because I started working on it for fun. And then the the DOS 2024 Game Jam was announced. And I was like, you know what? I'm already starting to make a game. I could just enter this. And I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. And yeah, one of the things that was initially difficult was like, oh, how do I render an entire screen of these pretty pixely character chunks in one go? It takes so long for QBasic to render all of that. It's so slow. Well, I figured out that I can load the data in from DensQuix's DOSDraw program fairly slowly. Do I have that like as a function in here? I load it fairly slowly, like just read it from disk and shove it onto the screen. Like there's multiple modules. This thing is fucking huge. Game almost too big for QBasic. Yeah, thanks for the help you had offered me when I was trying to get the damn thing to compile. I had to break it up into lots of different modules and it's here somewhere. I just don't remember off the top of my head what these things were called anymore. Like I used to have all of this in my head because you kind of had to. Oh yeah, here we go. File AOBAS. Maybe one of these? No? Utils? Ah, there we go. B load screen. So, actually, is this like in... I'm going on a big tangent here, but whatever, it's my stream, I can do what I want. Yeah, here we go. DOS draw load screen. So the DOS draw load screen is what I was using to read the files I saved from DensQuix's program, which is web-based, and you can just use it yourself. Right there. And I load it to the screen, but then at the end of it, what I did was I used QBasic's bload and bsave. So I bsaved it, and that just kind of dumps the memory to disk. Yeah, bsave screen. It adds a 7-byte header, and I don't know what it does, but it likes that for its own purposes. And now I can load and save these screens really quickly, right? So I was thinking. Oh, and I need to add background music. Yes, because I'm going to be slow. Look, enjoy your work. Lurk. I was thinking, like, you know, you could do like an interactive fiction kind of game. where it's very slow. It's just like you load a screen and the story is like, you've always been warned about the dangers of going to the cave, but your mother and father are out at the market today, and you've decided to go to the cave anyway, you know, like, and it's like, you know, just take you through a bunch of nicely drawn screens, and it can be like just interactive fiction. And what I could make is a thing for people to make those sorts of games, and maybe a demo game, just as a proof of concept. And then it would be nice and easy for people to do future DOS game jams, because they can just do their little art and their little story writing and load it up into this thing and have that as their game. And it's not going to need like sprite blitting or any kind of clever stuff. It's stuff I've mostly got cobbled together already in QBasic here. So I figured maybe I can do that. Maybe. Of course, I've got to find like a way to copy a lot of this stuff out. Like, QBasic wasn't really built for having multiple projects at the same time. Where's the background music on this screen? Do we even have it? We don't. Let me go grab it. Copy. Paste. Okay, that's obscuring some of chat, but you'll just have to make do. I'm not fixing it. Yeah, so first thing I've got to do is like set up a new project to hold this stuff. Guess I want to do that in my terminal, which I can't really easily show you because it's not scaled the same way. I could. There's a risk of like doxing myself or something, like important secrets leaking. I don't know. Once we get into QBasic, it'll be fine. Talk amongst yourselves. Look at the cat. Didn't promise a super entertaining stream where I can multitask or anything. Kitty in garden DOSBox. Like, what if I copy the Struth directory itself, and then I can just kind of pare down what's already there? That's probably easiest. And I'm gonna call this, what am I calling it? Iffy. Interactive fiction for you. Oh damn, it's copying all of my Git stuff as well. I'll want to redo all that. Run. Staging conf, yes. And staging conf. Stream is helpful to think about ideas for DOS Game Jam. Trying to find an idea I like for a one-day game due to time constraints. 1 day? Oh, Game Dev Jeff, I can't even contemplate doing something in 1 day. For me, 1 day is managing to do laundry. Let's see, so we'll go... Yeah, we'll do that. And if I go to the DOS directory, so what I could do is just copy a bunch of this over. My work has put me on weekend shifts in addition to Monday, Friday for the past month, scrambling to find free time. Game Dev Jeff. Oh, that's cruel and unusual. That's it's quiet firing, that is. Yeah, I hope you can find some time for yourself, or unionize or something. I don't know. Let's copy run dev bat to... Wait, did I make a directory for that already? Yeah, I did. And I guess I'll copy... What's in my git ignore? You know, maybe I should share this console window, just so you have something to look at. One moment, please. Console. Where? Oh, here it is. There you go, fancy Linux console. I'm assuming I had this for some reasons. Yep. Cruel and unusual indeed. I get to take 2 days of holiday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week, so getting a little relief. Whew! Yeah. Let's ignore... feet. What else do we want? There's some distribution files from QBasic itself, and it looks like I have these links here to the help files and things. I might not need those anymore, because qbx.ini? Yeah, qbx.ini is like telling QBasic that, oh, the QBasic 4 files are installed in CQBX and shit like that. So, copy qbx. What else do I want? Also, just out of curiosity, my console window is partly transparent. Oh, interesting, but when OBS captures it, it's completely opaque. That's good. So we had that stuff. Like, I'll worry about making executables and shit like that later. I might not go quite as nuts like I did last time with the build process. But dist files, build, dialog, ASM. Oh yeah, I had an ASM directory. That was actually needed for something. So I had this tiny bit of like 4 bytes of assembly that I linked into a COM file, which I then ran from QBasic, and it's named HCF because it's Halt and Catch Fire. No matter what I did with QBasic, when I exited, it was always restoring the screen to like whatever was there previously, or it was just clearing it, I think. And I didn't want that. I wanted to have one of those splash screens like you get at the end of Commander Keen. So this was a way to just terminate the program immediately. I think we'll copy that across as well. ASM to fit. So I might be missing stuff, but I guess we could start like trying to do things. Or do I want to like copy? I could just copy the utils and file IO stuff. Yeah, it's probably fine. I could reuse some of that stuff. I put it into a library code kind of deal. Do I need random? Don't think so. Struth had a random thing for it that I made specifically to read from a random.dat file. I was hoping to make random number generation quicker, so I pre-rolled all the random numbers that they needed for the procedural generation. It didn't make it much quicker, but it did make it deterministic. For some reason, I couldn't figure out how to get QBasic to have a deterministic seed for its random number generator. So, yeah, that worked. And what's the QB.ini? Is that like... Oh, hang on. QB.ini is the same thing, but like for QBasic 4.5, yeah, okay. But we're using QBasic X, which is like version 7. Or QuickBasic or something. I forget exactly what the versioning difference is between QuickBasic and QBasic. But we need QuickBasic because we want to make an exe. So let's change run dev. Wasn't there some sort of include file that you needed for the whole project? Or do I do that with the UI? Might be in the UI. And that should be it. Let's see if I can run this. X. Cool. Keep my terminal around so I can refer to the other files. But here we have our brand new game. Are you excited yet? How do I... That's not right. Is this right? Do I have to use the .bi file? Oh, okay, well, all of the functions seem to have been detected. Oh, that's right, QBasic's weird. Yeah, I completely forgot, like, your QBasic main file can be basically empty because the bits of the file that are functions are just kind of slurped up into this window here. Cool, cool. So we have some functions that are maybe useful. I don't remember how to use any of them. The Lemmings circus music is appropriate. Let's just run something. French. Hello world. Hello world. Sweet. Now what? I'll hold the phone. Can you get command line arguments in QBasic? Because I mean, I'm running it here without any, but I can make an executable will it have them there? Maybe, because my original idea for this was like, oh, you'll just run it. And it will... You can give it a directory full of your files for your game. But I don't even know how to do that. Well... we could make it so that when you run it the first time, it gives you like a menu. Do I have any nice menu options, like menu drawing things? I think that would have been in the main game code. I do have some like code for reading a string. Oh. And I guess, like, you might end up wanting to give it some sort of main file that has all of your instructions about, like, which game screens to load and things. But what I do kind of want to do is, when you load it, it's not just playing the game for you, it's also the level editor. So you can push like F1 or something to load like a menu where you get to choose, oh, I'll add another screen for my thing here, I'll add some text, or I'll add a button there. And maybe F2, a bit like QBasic, you know, like you can just choose to jump to a particular bit, you could jump to a scene. So how do I wanna... Let's go like this, okay. Loading. In fact, let's try and keep things neat and tidy right from the start. Sub load. Load game. Nope, that's no. And subs take arguments, right? We can. So if I go back to this game, we can just be like, load game. And it would load from the file? Yeah, cool. And then that would sort of determine the scenes you load and stuff. But maybe we would also have some initialization for just like a blank game. Or if it doesn't even exist, we fall back to that. So maybe we would want a main loop. We can do that. And this will be I remember doing something like this last time. How do you write loops in this? Do while? Wind? Yeah, it's all coming back to me now. Actually, it's just while. I do love the online help that Quick Basic has. This really helped me learn a lot of programming stuff. It's not my first basic, but it's a pretty significant one. So I want to loop, but we obviously need a way to exit. So we'll do that. I have a get key function, right? Get key is a function. Function get keys. Oh yeah, I made this as a way to be like, get keys, but only from a valid list of the ones which we will allow. And beep if it's not one of the allowed ones. So we might need to figure some stuff out. I basically want the user to be able to press escape at any time to get a menu that lets them exit. Or save? I don't know. It would probably be dependent on the game. So that's print key. No, I need it to wait, right? I kind of need to keys equals well keys equals Star drop. Hello. How are you? I am totally fine, as you can see from this camera footage. I'm green. It ain't easy being green. Well, keys is that. Keys equals in keys. When print key. If I push like Q, it goes Q. Why am I in the 80s? I'm not in the 80s, you're in the 80s. No, I'm just deliberately making my camera glitchy because I feel glitchy. This is your dev project? It looks basic. Yes. So with that, like I can use this thing and go F1, K equals space and a semicolon. I think that actually is a null character. So I think this, yeah, it's that arrow. But I happen to know that's 27. That's character string 27, so that's fine. So that gets us F1, and then F2 is what? Left angle bracket. Now, I suspect these are arranged in some sort of order. I could have just looked this up on Struth, because Struth has some function keys used. I can't be brained to switch it right now. But I was going to look at the help menu, because there is a... this one? Oh, keyboard scan codes. Oh, hey, well, there we go. We don't even need that. This is what we want, right? What does it claim escape is? 1. Okay, that's a lie. Oh yeah, these are scan codes. These aren't quite what in key string is returning. So where is character set? ASCII character codes. So it was looking like, yeah, 27 is escape. F1 is a null character plus a semicolon. F2 is a null character plus a left angle bracket. So we can probably conclude that most of them carry on along that pattern. And I could then use this getKey string in the main loop do I want it in the main loop? How did I do this in Struth? Yeah, alright, we gotta check it. Where would I have put in it? Main loop. Oh, there's a menu loop. Okay. Sorry, I'm just looking at the other code here. There's a game loop. How do I do character, key handling? Keys is get keys, empty string. Okay, so I'm actually just getting absolutely any key, whatever. And then I had several different functions that I called to check if they wanted to do anything. Shut up, random car thing. Check if they wanted to do anything with the keys, like do interact controls. I don't know how I... Oh, okay, I had some sort of global e-processed variable, I think. I had to do a lot of global stuff with this. Couldn't do a lot of things like handling things by reference. But sure, we could try and follow something like that. Let me check how I did this. Yeah. Alright. But this time we will do things with a naming convention, which looks annoyingly like Hungarian notation, but yeah, we'll do G for global. Because then that will let us go here. Wait, not pressed. I don't want pressed. I want handled. Handle those keys. And we'd basically be doing... basically. Every time I say basically something, 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 assume it's a pun. The key handle is 0. Keys equals get keys. Anything. And then we can do a subroutine for like can had like an early exit thing here, didn't I? Yeah, so you go like no, handled. There, we can early exit if we've already handled the key. I'm just going to copy most of previous Neko's code. Select case keys. Is it end case? Select. Case chars 27, that's escape. And comments in this language are a single quote, an apostrophe. Weird. So if we've got that, then do I want to just like force it to open the menu? Yeah, I guess so. Say do menu exit, but then most of these things are going to be do anyway, right? Draw menu handle. But for the moment, we could just exit. Exit, sub, do, or for. Well, we could just halt and catch fire, couldn't we? All caps. So hopefully if I press exit, it will just immediately dump us back to DOS. But that is only if we do that in the global keys, and we have to actually call that. Hell yeah! Welcome in. How are you doing? I am very fucking tired. Menu exit. Yeah. So we would add more keys later, but then in the main loop we do global keys. And we could have other key handling things there. Maybe? Hello, very fucking tired. I'm Dad. What you doing? I am doing a game jam. I got confused between game jam and game dev Jeff, who is lurking in the chat somewhere. If we type, if I use my typing, I explained it already. There we go. So 3 months to make a DOS game of some description, and given that I am currently employed and spending all of my brain cells on the job, that could still be not quite enough time to get something done, but it's a good excuse to try and do a stream today. I haven't streamed for a month, hell yeah. I've missed you all. I mean, I've seen you all, but like, I've missed doing this. This used to be a sort of anchor point in my week, and now the anchor point in my week is Monday and sprint planning. So yeah, I think I'd prefer the twitch.tv, where you put many games into a pot and boil them until they're jam. Yes, basically. I missed you too. Aww. But yeah, this is QBasic. Or actually, this is technically Quick Basic. Is there not something about this program? But this is a very old school programming environment. And when you got DOS 6, you actually got Quick Basic 4.5 included. And it was like, cool, you could just use your operating system to make games and things. Index? No, contents. So like the more advanced version of QBasic is Quick Basic, which is what this is. And this one actually let you turn your code into exe files. Which is what we're going to try and do to make a little tiny game jam thing. This playlist is epic. Thank you. It's mostly just a grab bag of random DOS games. With no particular rhyme or reason. Game. Yes. So the idea is I want to make epic mega games? I don't know. Sounds a bit sus. I want to make an interactive fiction game engine thing. Just like make a thing that lets you draw cool art and load it into the game as it's like a PowerPoint presentation. Yeah? Like a PowerPoint presentation, but with a nice story and cool art. And for DOS. I mean, you could use it for work PowerPoint presentations as well. I mean, if I get this working, I probably will. So we're checking the keys, and the keys do things, and we do that until want exit. Oh, want exit, of course. I could have just called that. Why don't we do that? Otherwise, we're just not using variables that we set up. And main loop. So in theory, we could run this. Array not defined. I hate this particular aspect of QBasic / Quick Basic. Because the syntax is a bit jank, it thinks I want to define an array here, and then I haven't defined it, so where's your array? Give me the array, programmer. No, this is a function call. And the only reason that you're having trouble with it is because I haven't done the right magic dance in this file, I think. Like, do we include it in here? Anything else I need to do to add shit to program project files? Gamedir. Okay, cool. Escape is not exiting the game. So now I have to remember... There's a way to break out of the QBasic games, or QBasic environment, and get back to your editor. And it's something like Shift Break, except even if you're lucky enough to have a break key on your keyboard, which I think for me is under the pause key. I think you're actually supposed to do Control Scroll Lock? Yeah, because it's DOSBox, I think. DOSBox, you have to do Control Scroll Lock instead of break for something. Yeah. So I don't know why this wasn't working, because looks like we're in a loop there. Dune. I can't think of a Westwood pun that I'm comfortable putting in a Twitch channel. Well, you know, here is pretty relaxed, starter up. A bit quiet too. I haven't really equalized all of these playlists. And you know, this is just my shitty hand-rolled browser-based overlay for playing music. So even if I had replay gain metadata for the tracks, it wouldn't be reading them. Well, this is as good as we can do. It sounds a bit quiet to me, but I think I'm also a bit quiet due to microphone garbage dump trash fire stuff, so why does this not work? We call it from here, which gets called from here. We could hard code something here. Nope, that doesn't work either. Well, this is code from our function, like from the game, the other game. So why wouldn't this be working? This is tested. This works. We could set a breakpoint. Somehow. Yeah, that's all correct. There was a way, actually, I remember now. There's some bullshit like extra menu that you can get only if you do something at startup. Here we go. Toggle breakpoint. Okay, so escape is generating a key that is not the empty string. Yeah, so our code is working, as we thought. It's just that this thing, maybe. Yep, we get to this function. Oh, you know what? Yeah, we thought we were so clever. We were like, yes, want exit equals 1. But that was like... It's not a global variable, dude. Let's just try halting and catch firing anyway, because that's what we know we're gonna do anyway. Right? I see no drawbacks to this. Infinite loop. Break out of it by exploding the program. Like that. Sweet. And yeah, the actual implementation details of HCF are here. And yeah, that's right. I made it configurable. Although that was loaded by Struth code, so I don't know why that works. And I made it so like the config file would actually run the ASM code. Sorry, the config file would tell you you are in the executable environment. You can be comfortable just calling this DOS code. Yeah. Definitition, welcome in. What the basic is this? This is QBasic, Quick Basic. One of those. I make the game. Maybe. So I wanted maybe to have a menu pop up. And I could work on that, I guess. Would try. So like this menu exit thing, right? We don't have to immediately die. We could ask the user, are you sure you want to quit? Yes, no. So it would be like, well, one went. Let's just print for now. We'll make a fancy menu thing later. Are you sure you want to quit? Then your keys equals get keys plus 7, because we want escape to be able to also say no. And we could just go like, no case. Yes. And then if y, then I'll catch fire. No. Halt and catch fire. This is one thing I also don't like about QBasic. If you use a different case for calling a function or a variable name, it will happily rename all of the other variables to that same case. So it's case insensitive, but also it will muck around with the case of your variables and things if you accidentally mistype. Else, was it exit while? Expected, therefore function or sub or do or for. So we could exit sub. Diff? Yeah. So is that gonna work? Do stuff. No, I can't. If I press escape, are you sure you want to quit? Yes, no. No. You press escape. Are you sure you want to quit? No. Am I sure I want to quit this time? Yes. Hey, it works. Huh? I pressed Alt F and then something. Oh, type exit to return to QBX. I must have hit Alt F D, yeah, D for DOS shell. If you want to quickly do some DOS while you DOS. You dog. But what I wanted to do was save that and then add it to Git, because we haven't done anything with the source control yet. Git init, Git status, Git add all of this. So now that's safe and protected from me blundering about and breaking things. I want to draw boxes. I want like a cool menu thing. and we might grab that from Struth if it's around somewhere. Because I had an inventory menu that probably has suitable code. Shall we switch around and have a look? So what would I have called it? Let's look for the string inventory. Draw inventory. That sounds good. Yep, my brain is melting. Did I have something that was like... Oh yeah, there you go. Draw frame. So is that utility code we could copy? Getting called? Pattern not found. Okay. Oh, do I have it here? Did I already anticipate my need and get it in here? Draw frame! It is here. So draw frame, title, left, top, right, bottom. It picks colors, it draws things. Yeah, it looks like it just draws the frame and that's it. Oh, sorry. Switch thing again. Although I do need to reference how to call this. UBX. Arian 2000 soundtrack is really cool. So here is the draw frame. And how do I call it? Draw frame. Yeah, I was doing some sort of calculations and shit. So here, move this over here. Menu exit. So instead of this, let's set it up. In fact, we don't have to print the we don't have to draw the menu in this while loop. We draw it outside, and then we just wait. In fact, yeah, this is fine. Like, I was thinking of a menu where you had to, like, move a cursor up and down. But this menu, you wouldn't even need that. So we can get rid of that, and get rid of that. And just simplify this shit. And if we need it more complicated later, we can make it more complicated. So, const. Menu width is const. Right. 3. Const. Top is 5. Why not? I'm just borrowing a lot of these numbers from Struth. And then for some reason, I do maths. It would be nice to have a frame that was centered easily. Like, we just need to tell it how wide it is, how tall it is, where the top is. Yeah, let's do that and save ourselves some hassle later on if we're doing lots of these things. Maybe. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'll want to change it up so the menus look like this. I do kind of like this aesthetic. Makes more sense with a mouse though, and I don't even know if you can do mouse in QBasic. You probably can with some weird add-on libraries. It would be useful, like, because at the moment my game idea is, you know, you do your drawing in DOSdraw, or the draw, and then you import it into the game engine, and then you do the rest of the game with the keyboard. But if you had a simple drawing tool as well, I mean, that's like Hella's feature creep, but it would be good. It would be cool. Let's make a wrapper for draw frame that does it centered. So you do sub draw C frame. No, draw frame C. You've got to keep the names short, because although you can have fairly long names, they don't show up in the function list very nicely. And it would be title string So this would just do this maths. Oh, that's right. I can't do something like a variable called left because there's already a left string for like left aligning a string or something like that. So we'll keep it simple. Dim frame left as dim frame right frame box. And then we just go draw frame title string. No wait, hang on, we need maths. Frame left is 40 minus width on 2 minus 1. And right is plus width on 2. Frame bot is C. Plus each. That's 1. There. Now we do draw frame. Might not be, like, I'm sure there's off by 1 errors and things there, but it's probably fine. Ooh, and this is here, but I wanted it in utils. How do I make something in utils? Can I just delete that? Oh wow, that actually pulled it out of my whole thing. Utils. There we go, it says utils bash draw frame C now. So then in utils.bash, Oh no, in utils.bi is the thing here, right? We have to possibly update that include file, because that's the thing that lists all the different functions that you're importing. So how did I open those? Utils? It hasn't shoved it in here. I need to kind of just go copy this, maybe? And we can put it next to its cousin. Glass up, draw frame C, title, WHT. And then hopefully I can use this in the main program. Menu. So we would declare those. We don't really need to declare them, but I guess it makes it a bit more readable. Draw frame C. Menu width 8 menu top. Does this work? Okay, so we're playing our game. It does nothing, and then I press escape. Aha! Right. So the title there is not what I thought it was. It's actually like the top bar of the window, and it's too wide. No. Of course, that hasn't cleared anything because it doesn't clear anything. Escape. Yes. We would probably want it to be in the middle. Also, that's 3 units high, like that's 3 characters high. According to my notes, that's supposed to be the inner area, but it's not. It's only giving me 1 line of actual useful area. What the hell, notes? Maybe it's only the inner width that is inclusive of the thing. Let's make that 4 then, I guess. And we'll need to make this wider. Dr. Yasmin, hello, hello. How are you doing? Good to see you. I am feeling very scuffed. Love to see an echo stream going on? Well, it's been a month, and I felt like I really ought to. Had some tutoring to do till just now. No worries. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it. How are you doing? How was your Monday? We've both been away for about the same length of time, yeah. Yeah, I don't know, I haven't been catching as many streams lately either, because I'm just too fucking tired. I can't stay up level 8 watching the Twitch. So my idea was draw the frame there, but then I guess I've got to like change the language, like exit game, and then we would like full on locate row column? I think it's row column. Doing some game dev. Yes. Yes. Internet just hasn't been stable enough, but it all works out. I've missed a lot, but I didn't miss any Neko. Yay. Yeah, so I'm doing game dev for the DOSember Game Jam, which starts today. There's a full 3 months of time to do DOS games. And that's good, because I'm going to need a full 3 months to do even the most basic of basic games. Maybe he didn't miss any Neko, but I missed Neko a lot. Ah. Well, I can't promise like huge amounts of streaming, but I can promise a little bit of stream here and there, maybe. Alas, I don't have the skills to make a DOS game. Oh, you think that, but you would be wrong. Making DOS games is easy. Maybe I could do some basic sprites or something for you. Maybe I'm not even going to be doing graphics, Dr. Yasmin. I don't have the ambition to do anything like that. It's going to be text mode stuff. But my hope is that I make a little engine for running interactive fiction, and other people... Meow. Other people can then use that to do things. Now I need to figure out how to write a string. And I'll probably change this so it's like a subroutine. But let me just get something going. Locate 5 string 5 that's how you write string. And then it would be like 40 minus the width of my string minus 1. Length. Is it length in QBasic? No. Len. Text. PHP. Minus 1. Print. Text. I haven't actually defined what the text is yet. That's fine. How do I do that? Texts. No texts. Is, are you sure you want to quit? Yes. Oh, and I think I wanted to make the width a bit bigger. Make it, well, I can't make it 40, can I? Because... Oh, I can, because it's actually length divided by 2. Yeah. We'll try that anyway. Escape. I'd forgotten I had that little red escape thing in the corner for, like, how to cancel it. Also, I need to bump that by 1. The menu top is actually where that is. That's more like it. Am I sure I want to quit? That doesn't look centered to me. Yeah, it doesn't look centered. Try not to obsess over it. Let's just get something working. We can make it good later. So what I wanted to do... Oh, right, now you see, I have to figure out how to I don't know whether it's that dialogue is displayed at the moment or if it's not, because I'm not restoring the background. So I need to restore the background after I exit that menu. Am I sure I want to quit? Yes. Okay, we got out. So what we want to do is copy the screen as we get into this menu and then restore it afterwards, and then it will pop in and out very nicely. What we can do with that is use pcopy. We'll copy 0, which is the visible page, to page 1. Yeah, this would be fast enough. Like, we don't have to worry too much about draw delay. And then, regardless of what the user presses, they're either dismissing the dialog box or they're exiting the program. So we can just we can just restore the screen here. From 1 to 0, which is the current one. And in Struth we were doing more shifty things here, like render to a screen that's not visible at the moment, and then swap it over. But for this little menu, it's fine. We don't need to care. So hopefully, we press escape, it disappears. But we escape out of that, and it disappears. Menu, no menu. Menu, no menu. Menu goes up, menu goes down. Menu goes up, menu goes down. So I quit, yes. Now we could make this tidier, because we could have like something to draw a centered string. And we might even be able to grab it from the draw frame code, which apparently already has something like that. No, it doesn't, because it's already been given what the coordinates are. Cool. Oh wait, here we go. Yes. Not sure about that, but we'll try something like that. And colors, we need to use colors. Like there's the whole problem of the palette that I'll have to deal with at some point with this game, because I kind of want each screen of the adventure, like you should be allowed to define the palette that goes along with that. Like it's gonna be EGA, of course, but EGA you can configure the colors between a choice of 64. So it will be cool if we can do things like that. DenseQuix's DOS drawer only assumes that you've got like the default EGA palette with a bright yellow, I think. But you know, there's the dark yellow that people use for brown, and you can do a whole bunch of extra stuff too. So we've gone draw frame C. What I would like is draw text C. So we go to our utils. Don't know why this is on the edit menu. Should I mean, I have to do locate, right? So I would have to have a row. And user gets to choose their color. Yeah, sure. I need to go back to the menu. Oh good, I didn't actually delete it. Fine, we'll just replace that with draw XC. Six. So back in draw text C, which is still in utils pass, yes, good, good. I need to declare it in the utils.bi file. Draw, 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 draw. Where is the draw? It was right there. There, sub, draw text C. Alright. Neko is tired, everybody. I mean, I want to get like an entire game done in one stream, but that's not going to happen. I really like limited palettes. One of the nice things about graphics in the late 80s, the red and black of Ortega or the purple and green of Fleabhut in SQ3 are good examples. They made a great use of a very thematic palette. Yeah. There's a name for it. Arch through adversity. By being constrained like that, it forces you to make some stylistic choices that you wouldn't have thought about otherwise. It's really cool. That's why when I eventually finish this game for the Game Jam, there is that other game that I've showed on stream occasionally that I wrote in the 90s in QBasic, and you know, it was sort of halfway close to being a platformer, but with a lot of problems that I couldn't overcome, like keyboard repeat and things like that. And I used mode, is it mode 9 or mode 13 for this? The 256 color VGA mode, and I had my 256 color VGA sprites, but they're not great looking. I mean, they're pretty good for young Neko, but I think what would be actually better if I were to revisit that old code is to change it from being 256 colors to EGA 16 colors, and then go to town with limited palette. Maybe even have different screens of the game load different palettes. I do everything through adversity. Everything was going okay for a while, so I broke my own leg. Oh yes. Life is tough. How are you doing, by the way, Stardrop? Everything okay with the things that you were occupied with? You know, the things. What was I? So yeah, this menu, we could go draw text C, get S, no, oh, line 7. And tell you what, we could clear the screen before we load. Racing the Beam, hello, welcome in. I love the Amstrad CPC's palette. It was biased towards bright blue, so a lot of games had this kind of metal futuristic vibe. Yeah, yeah, the Spectrum, the BBC, Amstrad CPC, that era of gaming, extremely limited palettes, and a lot of amazing stuff came out of it. Yeah, the bright blue, like the cyan, you made me immediately remember Code Droid for the BBC Micro. Maybe we'll have a look at that later, just as no, fuck it, we'll have a look now. Can I load BBC emulator? Give me a second here. Because the URL changed. Yeah, here we go. Let me go full screen. BAT got an Amstrad CPC port, and it's a masterpiece, given the constraints. Cool. Yeah, like constraints. It makes stuff more interesting. How do I load discs? Discs. Archive. Droid. It was Superior Software, of course. And codename Droid. And then how do I do shift break? Oh, that's print screen. I have forgotten how to do this. Help. So break is F12, right? Okay, cool. No, it isn't. Okay, break is working, but not shift break. I guess it had to be the right shift. Okay. I've been spending a ridiculous amount of time on a grand application for several weeks now, while my supervisor has been overseas doing important things. So a bit stressed, and then I got really sick with bad fever for a couple of days, and was drifting in and out of sleep at one point, checking an online form every 10 minutes while unable to think properly. That was wild. That sounds like a lot, Stardrop. I hope you're feeling better now. I hope you've got some sleep. And good luck with your online form and your supervisor. But yeah, codename Droid, Strikers Run Part 2. Press space to load. Absolutely gorgeous use of the pretty limited BBC palette. Not gonna know what keys are what. Okay, yep, cool. Well, anyway, that's that. And I need to get the not this one. That's Poppy. Poppy is snoozing in the bedroom on my nice jacket. What was I? That's so red, yeah. Because the thing about the BBC palette, right? If we're just going on a massive tangent here, why the hell not? They made it so that mode 7, which was the mode you booted into, was the teletext mode. You had high resolution characters from a dedicated teletext chip on the thing. And it was really cool, but no graphics. So you had like the teletext mode graphics. And then all of your graphics modes were slightly lower resolution with just an 8x8 pixel font. They kept the color palette between the two modes, though. So, well, between some of the modes. Teletext Mode 7 had 16 colors, but the top 8 of those colors were just blinking versions of the bottom 8 colors. The BBC made hardware? Yeah, BBC Micro. Look it up. There's some cool documentaries on it. They made the default 8-bit microcomputer that was used in schools because the government put out like a thing, like, we want a television program about computers and we want to educate the kids on the computers, so we want a microcomputer that will go along with this television program and educate people and kids about the computers, because the computers are the future. Technically, the BBC, like, they weren't directly involved. They contracted Acorn. Acorn Computers won the bid, and they were already making the Acorn Electron, and they basically made a souped-up Acorn Electron, and they called it the BBC Micro, Model A, Model B, the BBC Master. Yeah. It was cool. There's so much cool retro computing stuff that happened during that era. But going back to the other point, why am I on the Oni screen? I want the FTL screen because we've got the background music there. The palette, yeah. So you only had 8 colors, one of them being black, and the other things were just sort of flashing on and off because that's what teletext did. Meanwhile, you've got the Commodore 64, which had a much more desaturated palette. Like, it wasn't maximum brightness for all of the colors. It was a nice sort of featured palette. And I really wish the BBC had just gone with the option of having a slightly more interesting palette instead of going for the teletext compatibility, because it could have really taken off if they had just a nicer color scheme. Like, even DOS EGA had 8 colors and then 8 bright colors, or 8 colors and then 8 muted colors, depending on how you want to look at it. But yeah, I'm running out of steam. It's approaching the 2-hour mark, so I feel like I want to just check if I can get this menu working, and maybe we'll raid out. Because I have to go to bed, because I have to work in the morning. Fuck my life. Press escape. Yeah, look at all those colors. Exit game. Are you sure you want to quit? Yes, no. No. Exit game. Are you sure you want to quit? Yes, no. Yes. I missed that entire story because my Twitch app decided to freeze just as you were starting. I'll catch it on the VOD if there is one, I guess. There should be one, I think. I haven't actually checked if my auto recorder... Oh, fuck me. My auto recorder didn't start auto recording. I had set this up previously, and it was all nice and it was working fine, but just like everything else, shit is scuffed and broken, so it hasn't started recording this to local. That's fine. I'll grab it from Twitch and I'll upload the VOD to YouTube. But normally I like to make things easy on myself so that when I transitioned to this scene from my starting soon screen, it would automatically start recording. It was sweet. It was great. Why is it broken? Fuck if I know. But hey, that worked kind of nicely, don't you think? We had a menu and everything. We can escape, and we can escape again, and it hides. And only if you press escape and then yes do you actually quit. And quitting might be configuration dependent, but we'll figure that out later. So I'm going to commit that. And amazingly, Emmy is still streaming. Emmy's been doing some epic streams lately. It's been her whole idea to do this DOSember game jam lasting 3 months. So I mean, even if you're not trying to enter the jam, we're gonna see some cool things come out of this. There's been over 100 people joining this jam. And I'm gonna send you over to Emmy now because she's still on, and why the hell not? She's playing Trial by Magic, which is some sort of isometric game. Yeah, Git, not hot. Yeah, I'm using Git. Something about using a hot repo to store basic code is titillating, right? Yes. No, I have a Git repo behind the scenes, but it's like, you know, it's DOSbox and then things. I have run out of brain, everybody. I thank you all for being here. It is nice to see you all, virtually speaking, and remind me of the life that I used to have before I became a wage slave for the man. I don't know if I will see you next Monday, honestly. This is a lot to process. Employment. Thank you. Actually, Stardrop, because we're rating Emmy, we can do this one if you feel like it. You know, just if you feel like it. I will start rating, actually. She might quit at any moment. We can't let this opportunity pass. Before I became a wave slave for the man, yeah. It's nice to see you all. I mean, maybe I'll do this on the weekends. My flatmate did point out that possibly doing streams on the weekends would be more achievable for me, rather than attempting to do it after I come home from work. But then on the weekends, like, I want to, like, sleep and stuff. So, I don't know. Either way, thank you all for being here. Take care, look after yourselves. I'll see you when I see you. And have a good week. Hope you have a good week. Bye-bye.